Hi, my name is Janis. I'm from Germany. I love Edison Format, and today we're going to validate just how good the dark type is in Edison. So to start off, I have got the limited list for you, and if you have a look, darks are clearly overrepresented. Like, yeah, okay, the Exodia pieces, that's one thing, but even without them, you have the Dark Arm Dragon, Chaos Sorcerer, Gale, Spirit Reaper, Sengen, like, you name it. Semi-limited, also a few darks, as you can see. And limited, like the Forbidden, I didn't look into that too much because they're banned, they're basically out of the game. But if you have a look, yeah, a lot of darks as well. So, let's get into this. Okay, when I think about darks, like the one monster that defines not only the dark attribute, but the Edison, like the best monster in Edison, probably Caius the Shadow Monarch. So darks, they have just some really good staples in Edison are dark. This is Caius. We also have Gauze. We do have Trigodia. We do have Sengen, also a good card. Staple in many decks. Summoner Monk. Where is it? There it is. What else do we have for staples? Like, okay, now we're kind of leaving the field of staples, but I mean, even Summoner Monk is not that much of a staple. But Phantom of Chaos, I think, is still an underrated card in Edison Format. I think the fact that it also copies the name, and then, yeah, you don't have to copy Anorias. I think, I mean, that's the most application that Phantom of Chaos has at the moment in Edison Format, but there are other good targets to copy. What else? Necro Face. Also, if you want to see a dark deck in action, I just did a deck doctor on a dedicated dark list, and I'm gonna add to this. On Sunday, I will post my own. Like, I had a similar list. It's a monster mash, it's dark, it mills into the graveyard. So I had this list before I got the submission and done the deck doctor episode. And so if you want to see that, subscribe and see you on Sunday. But for now, let's continue. This is, maybe we should put this here because this is more of a staple than these are. But yeah, another good dark Snipe Hunter. You know, I have my gripes with this card, but it's also not a bad card, and it's regularly played. Then we also have a really good staple, which I put behind here because, wait, what am I going to spell? There you saw it. Plague Spreader, because there are some darks that you want to pitch to graveyard, like Plague Spreader, Malicious, and Necro Gardener. So yeah, Plague Spreader, and especially Plague Spreader, is like in every second deck. Necro Gardener, a lot of decks utilize it as well. So yeah, another good card. And in the sideboard, there are also like some of the best sideboard monsters are dark, like Kaiku. Protects your graveyard, attacks the opposing graveyard, good stat line. Just overall a good monster. Breaker the Magical Warrior for, yeah, back row removal. You can still attack with it. Some decks prefer this over Dust Tornado, so yeah, really popular side deck card. Another side deck card which is probably even more popular, and for good reason, because it's kind of broken, is DD Crow. DD Crow, also dark, but I mean, this one doesn't really interact too much. Like, yeah, for like some cards count the dark and graveyard, but then again, it's more like a spell because you're acting like a trap. It's a hand trap, let's name it by its name. Yeah, another good side deck or popular side deck option is the Spirit Reaper, and also probably even more is the Vanity's Fiend. So yeah, you see, they are really good staples, and that can be played like in every deck. Not in every, like, you won't play like Summoner Monk or Phantom of Chaos in every deck, but yeah. They're pretty good cards that don't have to go in a dedicated Dark Engine deck, but are still really good. If we are talking about dedicated Dark list, like the last video that I made, then we have to talk about Dark Grapher. Really good enabler, gets stuff into the graveyards, like I said, the Darks, there are multiple Darks that like to be in the grave. We're talking about one of them later. You probably can think of one. Yeah, next up we also have Armageddonite, the other card that reliable, gets stuff into the graveyard. Can be searched of Mystic Tomato, but I mean, if we talk about how good the Dark type is, I think every attribute got a monster like this, so yeah, this is nothing special, but I want to show it anyway. Another card which could be played in dedicated Dark list is the beginning of the end, but the condition to clear is kind of steep. Like 7 Darks, like it's harder. Like if you only play Darks, it's still harder to activate than Pot of Avarice, but you draw 3, that's really good. So it's a card to consider. If you mill a bunch and you're only, well, mostly playing Darks, maybe there's something to do with this card. Dark Creator, like this is a staple for like really dedicated Dark lists. The Dark Creator, kind of broken. Like you special summons itself from the hand, and then it special summons another Dark from the graveyard. What more can you ask from a card? A good target in these lists for the Dark Creator is Dark Nephthys. Dark Nephthys, yeah. When it gets special summoned, target 1 spell and trap card on the field, destroy the target. Decent stat line, destroys the back row, like, yeah, that's a good card to special summon off of Dark Grapher. There are other, like, Dark Cerato, Fox. Oh, how is it called? Is it Dark Lord? Yeah, it's Dark Lord Cerato. Like, there are some more, but I think, yeah, these are the main ones. But there is one. The one you probably all been waiting for, the Dark Arm Dragon. Like, yeah, it's broken. It's limited to 1 for a reason. Can be a win con on its own, can win games. Like, if you have a deck which is kind of mid, but you can play Dark Arm Dragon in it, it is, yeah, kind of rogue tier by being able to play Dark Arm Dragon alone. Like, this is such a good bomb. Decks that can utilize it, yeah, are strong for a very good reason. Next up, kind of same category, like the little brother of Dark Arm Dragon is the Chaos Sorcerer. It's, I mean, it's, yeah, you need Darks and Lights, but then you don't have to have, like, exactly 3, like you do need for Dark Arm Dragon, but the effect is weaker, the stat lines is lower. So yeah, easier to summon, but harder deck condition, and then this one is Dark Arm Dragon is superior. Let's don't talk about that too long. Then another, in my opinion, interesting card for dedicated Dark lists should be the Doomsday Horror, which functions as a burial. As you see, Dark has a lot of banishing going on, and sometimes it's good to put these back into the graveyard. So Doomsday Horror, like Burial, it's broken in some decks, and I think Doomsday Horror can be a good, we have Burial at home for that. Can't be tutored by Sangan or Tomato, that's really a bummer. Like the question mark's deadline holds it back a lot. Also, it needs to be destroyed and sent to the graveyard. It would be better if it would be something like when it's summoned or when it leaves the field at least. But yeah, if it's not getting Caiused or sent back to hand, it's probably going to get destroyed. But your opponent can choose when to do it, so you cannot just draw it and then activate it. Like, yeah, there are some gripes, like Doomsday Horror clearly not better than Burial, even though you can return all Darks, which is an upside. Next up, we have two spell cards, two more spell cards I want to show. The first one is Recurring Nightmare. I have to watch how you pronounce that. Not an English native tongue, as you know. Yeah, Recurring Nightmare. There are a lot of darks which fulfill this criteria. Phantom of Chaos. Battle Fader usually gets banished, so it doesn't do it too much. But there are others like Necromancer or there was one. I think it was level 1. Wait. Let's find the one. We can just go for a monster with level 1 and 0 defense. Yeah, Vayu. You could also add back Vayus, but you want your Vayus engraved, so that's not really. Yeah, and then we also want Dark. Where is it? Oh, that's the type, the attribute. Search. Level Eater, yeah, but you also want this engraved. You can use it for Reptilian Naga, Grave Squirmer, even Jester. This one, Mad Reloader, this one was the one I was talking about. I don't really want to add this here because it's interesting. Like, sending 2 darks to the graveyard and then draw 2 can be really good. Like sending a Plague, for example, or Malicious, a Necro Gardener, or whatever. Is a good effect, but the fact is it's just too slow and too conditional. Yeah, so let's continue. Recurring Nightmare. There's a card that is very similar to this one. Wait, let's remove this, and that's Dark Eruption. Yeah, just gets you 1 dark back. Can be nice. Like if you filled your graveyard, this is such a good toolbox. Like get a DD Crow, get a Phantom of Chaos, or maybe a Plague Spreader, maybe an Armageddon Knight. I don't know. Yeah, maybe a Snipe Hunter. Maybe you need that spot removal or reuse your Summoner Monk. So Dark Eruption, it is a good card in the right deck. Yeah, let's continue. What else is dedicated dark? Let's continue with 2 more spells. Veil of Darkness. Watch my latest video and you see what Veil of Darkness can do. In the right circumstances, this card is absolutely broken in the win con on its own, but it is very conditional and it has heavy restrictions on your deck building. Yeah, I think that's the last part is what holds it back the most. Another staple in many decks is... Wait, am I writing this? It's not Dark Allure, it's Allure of Darkness. Pretty good card. Also the fact that you draw first and then only have to banish makes it a bit better than stuff like Trade-in or Destiny Draw, stuff like that. Really good card. Let's continue with 2 trap cards. The first one would be Escape from the Different Dimension. Also, really interesting card. If you play darks and you banish a lot, this is Call of the Hunted, but for banished cards. So yeah, you could just consider this. Like Call of the Hunted is good, and if in the right deck, if you banish big bodies, go for it. I mean, this could even work in Vayu, I just realized, but yeah, I mean, the fact that if it's intercepted, the monster goes. And we'll probably only get Shiroko. Yeah, it needs some setup. That's a bad part. You not only have to leave it on the field, but it's not good in your starting hand. I think that's what's holding this card back. Another card which is occasionally played in the decks with a heavy dark counter is Dark Illusion. A counter trap that protects your darks from spell and trap cards or monster effects that targets a dark monster on the field. Yeah, can be good against certain decks. Like you can negate a Braincon or a Soul Exchange, or I don't know, a Ryko, a Caius, whatever. there are plenty of cards that target and choose monsters. Let's add some more monsters. Dark Simorgh is also a really interesting card. Like, this Floodgates is really nasty against some decks. So like this for aesthetic reasons. Yeah, really nasty against some decks. The fact that for special summoning it you need a wind monster, and wind is you pronounce it wind in English? Wind? I think it's wind, isn't it? It's a really bad attribute. Like, dark is really, really good and wind's really, really bad. Like, your options, yeah, they could go Stratos, which is only a one-off, but there are plenty of cards that can search it. The Breed Dragon is a wind. How's the monarch called? It's Riser. This is a wind. And then these red eyes. Wyverns, there they are. These are winds, and I'm probably forgetting something. Maybe not. Wait, let's save and have a look. Didn't I just play a deck that had a lot of wind monsters? Wait, let me pause the video. Yeah, right, I found it. Quick Draw Synchron is also a wind monster, and it's pretty good. Like, this deck, you could consider playing Dark Simorgh. It's a brick in its opening hand. That's the only gripe I had with it, and I wanted most of my cards to be kind of good most of the times. But yeah, this deck, like, maybe in the side deck there should be a Dark Simorgh. But let's get back to the topic. Yeah, Dark Simorgh, pretty good. Then, what is next? There's also a card which I wanted to mention. Wait, how do you call it? It's Dark General Freed, okay. Dark General Freed. Can tutor any dark, but it's, like, the big problem is that it can only do so like in the draw phase, and you have to summon it, and it has to stick until the next draw phase, and then you could get any dark that is level 4 or no, it has to be exactly level 4. Like, it's good, like you can tutor like a Breaker, a Kaiku, a Summoner Monk, maybe even a Necro phase, Snipe Hunter, or these two. But yeah, the fact that it has to stick, like, you're probably better off just summoning a Caius and get that good spot removal off. But I wanted to mention it because I think it's interesting. So, next card we want to talk about. Okay, I think we are done with the dedicated darks. Like, these are the staples. These are the staples that you want to put to grave. These are the side deck cards. Now we had the dedicated, like really dedicated dark cards that you have to play in real dark lists. And now we move on because I want to talk about decks that naturally are dark type. And first off, one of the most popular decks or most famous decks in Edison are Blackwings. So I'm gonna put Gale as the representative. Like, most of these Blackwings are good. This is good, this is good, this is good. These two are good. This is good, this also. The Synchros are good. So yeah, Blackwings, for a reason, they are considered to be one of the best decks in Edison. Yeah, another big one, and I told you, this one likes to chill in the grave as well, is, I mean, we had it there. Bayou made so good that it made its own deck with Dark Raffers and Dark Armed Dragon and all that stuff. A lot of milling, Hamster, Ryko stuff for spot removal, but yeah, the core is the Bayou alongside the Shiroko going into Armed Wing, and sorry, got a drink real fast to keep my voice smooth. Yeah, Bayou, you know what it does. Pretty good card. Next up, also a dedicated deck, which is rogue tier, breaks into the meta here and there. And these are the Gravekeepers. Yeah, let's pick a representative. I think Spy is the best one. Spy could also go into the staple tier list because this one is played not only in Gravekeepers. So yeah, you could consider this a staple. You could also consider this a dedicated dark list because all the Gravekeepers, as you can see, are darks. Like all the Blackwings are dark. Then another deck which is naturally dark. I mean, it's kind of Jinzo decks. Like yes, like if you like the fact like Jinzo, yeah, he played with other machines and they are probably Earth. But I put it here because it is a dark, could also be considered like a staple or a sideboard card. But yeah, the fact is, if you want a Floodgates, or if you want to play Floodgates against darks, then it helps out against Jinzo decks as well. So yeah, that's why I put it here. Then also, this is not really meta, but I wanted to mention them just because they are dark type, is dark world. Let's pick gold as their representative. Yeah, also all these dark world monsters are dark type as well, like the name suggests. Then also the Earthbound, they are also all darks. Let's pick this one. I don't really know what they do. I haven't looked into them too much. I think there are some rogue tier strategies that are worth to explore with them from what I've seen so far, but I haven't messed with them yet. And they're not on my immediate list. So yeah, if you, I take suggestions in the comments. Like if you want to see anything, let me know and let's see if I can do something with that in the near future. But yeah, for now, Norleas, also kind of a dedicated deck with Phantom of Chaos. These two are also darks. So yeah, there's something here. And then we also have Cyber. No, how's it called? How are they called? Wait, let me have a look. Cyber Dark, right? Also not really a real deck, but I mean, it can do some stuff, so let's put it here as well. And last but not least, the Destiny Heroes as a representative. I'm going to put Diamond Youth, so all the Destiny Heroes are darks as well. But yeah, the good decks that mainly dark are these three, but there are more. And yeah, especially because this one is so popular, like having good sideboard hate against darks is always an option. Okay, no, there are three more decks I need to include. The Mice, kind of similar with Jinzo because it's just the boss monster. Same with Relinquished. But I mean, if you're facing off against them and you have Floodgates against darks, go ahead. I think after this monster part we can quickly talk about these Floodgates. Last but not least, zombies also have a lot of darks, like zombie decks. They have Zombie Master, they have Goblin Zombie. Let's just put Goblin Zombie as the representative here. Or do we put the Zombie Master? It's Master after all, right? There it is. So let's do it like this. And this is also more played. Let's kind of sort them by popularity. These are unordered. Yeah, okay. So let's quickly talk about the Floodgates against darks. There are three really good Floodgates. Consecrated Light is one. Then Shadow Imprisoning Mirror and Koaki. How do you spell Koaki? It's with this awkward thing, right? How? Let's find this monster. It's a dragon. I'm not sure which type it is. And it has 1900 attack. is an effect monster. There it is. Koaki Miro Drago. So you write it. Okay, I write it like this. I just realized there are a lot of wind monsters as dragons. Makes sense for dragons to be wind. So maybe Dark Zamorg has some. Yeah, maybe there is something to be found here. I mean, E3 basically made a half Dark Dragon Stratus Zamorg deck. So maybe there's nothing to find no more because it has already been found. Yeah. Then also two really powerful traps that are utilized in almost all of these dark lists are the virus cards. Let's remove this and go for virus. Yeah. Maybe I should put them here because they are dedicated. Like they are played in dedicated dark list. Like you need a certain amount of big bodies for them to work. So yeah, but these cards are broken. These are kind of like floodgates on their own. Like Quick Draw, for example, is a deck that famously gets totally devastated, destroyed by deck devastation virus. So yeah, really good cards. Really toxic. Can't say if they're good for the meta game, but we gotta deal with them. Yeah, and then also there are a lot of boss monsters that are randomly dark, like Red Eyes, Darkness Metal Dragon, or Destiny Hero Plasma, Vasky, or even, how do you call it? And then, yeah, Evil Dragon Ananta, which is not a dragon, but a reptile, which is kind of funny when you think about it. Yeah, so that's another one. For this extra deck, maybe. Do we want to put the side cards into the side? I think that's funny. Let's do this. Yeah, this looks good. Okay, for the extra deck, we do have another big, like these are unordered, like they fall in, like you might have realized that I did this in categories: stapled side deck, dedicated dark, boss monsters, and before we had decks that are mainly composed of darks, or their main component is the dark. So, but now for the extra deck, it's kind of all over the place. We have the 5-headed dragon, which falls into the category of boss monster, which is randomly dark. Then we have a staple, which is randomly dark, and Chimera Tech, Fortress Dragon. Yeah, this one, I mean, if it got out, it did a job. It did its job because getting rid of your opponent's machines with the Cyber Dragon is the broken part, and then having this beat stick is just a bonus, usually 2,000 or maybe 3,000 attack. Destiny and Dragoon, the boss monster that E3 Yu-Gi-Oh! Is currently trying to break until Christmas, I believe. I made a video featuring it like probably half a year ago. And yeah, this guy, surprisingly strong. So the video was also fun. I just recently rewatched parts of it, and I think, yeah, check that out if you're interested in a list that utilizes Destiny and Dragoon. It's a turbo list. It's really fast. It draws a lot. That's funny. So then there's also another randomly dark in Xerus, but I don't even know which category I would fit this. Yeah, Synchro monsters. There are also a lot of Synchro monsters that are dark type, especially level 8s, like Red Dragon Archfiend or Colossal Fighter, Thought Ruler Archfiend, Dark End Dragon. Okay, these first 3 were staples. The next one is kind of more in the direction of dedicated dark. But if your deck can make Dark and Dragon, that's a really, really good option. Like, if it hadn't this constriction of having to synchro with a non-tuner Dark monster, like, this card would see way more play. It's a really strong card. And Catester is also a Dark. So yeah, that's that are all the relevant Darks. If I would have to make a top 10, let me think about this for a second. Let me pause the video and I'll be back in a second. You can think of your top 10 as well. Maybe pause the video, think of it. Comment your top 10 Dark cards like monsters or support. And yeah, then hit play and see if you agree with my choices. So see you in a second. Okay, I made my top 10. Wait, let me open this. Okay, at 10th place, I put Vanity's Fiend, because this is a really good floodgate for the side deck. Only problem with it is that you can't special summon either. That can be a problem for some decks. And also you have to you have to tribute summon it. And that's a condition that some decks don't like. Next up, we have also a side deck card, but one that is easier to use. Kaiku, the Ghost Destroyer. Really powerful card, so I gave it a spot over Vanity's Fiend. At number 7, I put Dark Grapher. Dark Grapher, really amazing card, really, really strong. But it only works in dark decks, so that's holding it back a little bit. Cards that work in not only in dark decks, but in every deck which has Synchro strategy, and they share a spot, are Ally of Justice, Catester, and Colossal. Colossal has the famous Colossal Armory Arm, OTK. Catester, one of only 2 level 5 options in Edison Format, like viable level 5 options. And also pretty pesky to deal with for some decks. Maybe Colossal is a bit stronger because of the OTK, but I just thought let's let these 2 Synchro Summons share a spot. What do you need to make these? Let me count, number 5. Yes. No, number 6. Number 6. Plague Spreader Zombie. Best Synchro in Edison Format. Not Synchro, best tuner. So yeah, special summons itself from Graveyard. I think that's the big part. Pretty broken. Like, best tuner, we don't have to discuss this. Then, one spot above this is something that not only Synchro decks can utilize. It's a DD Crow. DD Crow, if you watch my video on the best Graveyard Hate, where I went over every possible Graveyard Hate that you can have and all the stuff you want to hit, from Lightsworns over Miracle Fusion over Debris Dragon, everything, or how's it called, Pot of Avarice. Like, so much stuff is hard shut down by DD Crow, and your opponent can't even interact with it because it comes directly from the hand. Like Phantom of Chaos decks. Like, if your opponent sides Crows, bye-bye. That's it for this deck. That's, so good. That is how good DD Crow is. So, well-deserved 5th spot. Maybe it could even be higher, you could argue. On the 4th spot, I put Deck Devastation Virus, because I think this card is broken. Shuts down some decks completely. Maybe because of the fact that DD Crow is a bit more general. A bit more, how's it called? Generally applicable. Maybe you could argue that it's better, but Deck Devastation Virus also kind of easy to clear for a lot of decks and crippled some decks really, really hard. Before we get to the top 3, I have 2 honorable mentions. One is Allure, which is a really good draw card, and then also Dark Creator. Like, if you have like a really, really hard dedicated Dark list, the Dark Creator, kind of broken. Like, special summons itself, and then also you go plus because you special summon something from your graveyard. Really good card, but only works in hardcore Dark list. Like, Grapha finds its place in other decks, like for example Vayu Turbo. So yeah, the Dark Creator doesn't, so it's only an honorable mention. Okay, top 3. At the third spot, I picked Gauss, because Gauss is such a good staple, and in every deck that doesn't run like heavy continuous spells or trap lineups, Gauss is a staple, and for a good reason. Like, if your deck can play Gauss, probably should. And number 2 is a shared spot, and we just talked about this. Dark Grapha finds its way into what deck? Vayu Turbo, I gave it a shared spot with Blackwings in general. Like, Vayu kind of is the representative. Like, Blackwings, they don't really have that kind of representative, so maybe for that reason you could put them lower or even as honorable mention. But because all of these Blackwing cards, not all of them, like this one you never see, or this one, but most of these you see, are all really, really good in Blackwing lists. So for that reason, I just thought, okay, let's give a place for Gale and Vayu at second place. I think that's fair. And the number 1, I just realized I forgot something. I forgot something, and that should be above. Like, this should be second place. I just completely missed Caius. Okay. Move everything one spot down. Caius at number 2. Number 1, it's the Dark-Armed Dragon. Like, yes, this one is more easy to play. Doesn't put as much restrictions on deck building, but this one, if you can play it, too strong. It's my number 1. Let me know in the comments if you agree. And then for the next videos, next on Sunday, I will showcase my Dark Monster Mash list. It features Phantom of Chaos. It features Magical Merchant, but not Veil of Darkness. And it also features, I think that's interesting, it also features Quick Draw and Dandelion. So yeah, stay tuned. I think the concept of the deck is really interesting. I think the concept is, there's definitely something there to find. So if you want to see this, subscribe, leave a like. After that, I will see what I will do after that. Not too sure, but I have some special videos planned for Christmas and for New Year's Eve, so look forward to that as well. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one. Bye. Have a good one. Wait, I gotta find the button to end this video. Now I found it. Bye.